Most of the time, the life is screwed up, but not because of the lack of the money or the lack of the resources, but because of, you're stuck in the same life with the same people. And that hurts. It's been a long time and there's no way out. At least that's what you think. You don't know if that is possible or not. The change is very important in life. It's like the water. If the water is still, it gets stinky, it gets dirty. But if the water keeps flowing, that water is fresh. That is exactly how the life is supposed to be. There should be the changes, the regular changes in your life, and that keeps your life fresh. But if you're stuck in the kind of a life that where you don't want to be anymore, that's gonna put you into depression. Or if you have to deal with the people that you don't want to deal, you have to do it on the regular basis or even occasionally, and you believe that there is no way out, that you cannot get rid of them. By getting rid of them, that I don't mean that you might want to hurt them or you might want to make them disappear. I mean that if you believe that you're gonna have to spend your rest of the life the way you're spending right now, that the same people are gonna be there till the end of your life, I think that's very bad. That just takes away all of your hopes. Now the question is that, is there any way out? Yes, there is. There is a way out. And that's called the courage. First of all, you have to recognize what the problem is. What is it that is stopping you from moving away from the situation that you're currently in? Is it the finances? Is it because you have some deep emotional ties with the certain people and then you don't want to hurt them? Or, those people, they have done some kind of the favors on you and then you're entitled to pay back, what they have done for you? Now, let's say that it's the financial problem. You're doing the kind of the job where you go and you don't like your colleagues. Your boss is yelling at you all the time. You don't get appreciated. You don't get rewarded for what you do. And you just want to get out of there, but you know that this is the only source of your income. That if you leave this job, you don't know if you're going to get a new job or not. If that is the problem, you got to understand that if you're going to have to burn out in order to make money, in order to keep your finances alive, then you're just one, mistake away from getting fired. If you don't like the job, anyway, then it is very obvious that sooner or later you're gonna make that mistake that will make you lose your job. So you're in the trouble anyway. You gotta have the courage to move away from that. If that is the only source of your income, you're already poor. You're already in the deep trouble. I'm not trying to demotivate you, but you're gonna move away and get something, that you feel that you're doing it from your heart. And that is gonna pay you back. That's my own experience. I was doing back in time a logistical job. I always wanted that job. But once, I got into that, I thought I'm gonna be making a lot of money, but that was not the case. I was burning myself out, like working 12 hours, 13 hours a day. But I kept doing it because, that was the only source of my income. Plus, I thought that I'm going to get a good experience. But that was not the case. I was getting into depression. I was becoming bitter and bitter because I was doing something that I felt that I don't belong in there. It could be that something could be your dream job, but you don't belong in there. So you got to just switch. You got to find something that you really like to do. And trust me, when you trust yourself, when you put the faith in the universe always rewards you back. So if you're stuck in some sort of life because of the finances, just move away, get out. It's going to be very hard to do it, but you're going to have to bold. But you're going to have courage to move away and start doing something that you really like. And now if you're among the people that you don't want to hurt, that you have emotional ties with, could be your friends, could be your family, could be your relatives, could be anybody, just let me tell you that you're not obligated to make anybody happy. Those people, if they really love you, if they understand you, then they're going to understand that whatever you're doing for your happiness. And they will be happy with it, that you're happy. But if they don't want you to move away from them for whatever reason, then they're just trying to, fulfill their own needs. Then they need you in some way. Maybe they're so obsessed with you. Maybe there are certain other reasons, but they need you there to be close to them. And that is why they're not in the favor of you moving away from them and change your life and do something that you really like. In that case, you're going to have to understand that they're doing what is best in their interest, and you're going to do what is best in your interest. In the end, you're going to need courage, a lot of courage. You're literally burning out yourself for the people who don't give a damn about you when it comes to making yourself happy. It's just that they need you to be close to them. They don't care if you're happy or not. And actually, there are certain, parents and certain family members or other friends, that will take your inner freedom away from you. It's like, hey, you must stay with us, but you must do it willingly. And that takes away your inner freedom away from you. That makes you even more depressed, and that is very bad for your mental health. So if you're stuck in the same life with the same people, you should have the courage to move away from that, change your life. If not, the end is there. The end is there. If you are not going to be bold, if you're not going to risk, you're already risking your life to spend in the kind of the scenarios, in the kind of the situation where you don't like. Why don't you just take another risk, to get out of that situation, to move away from that people. It might work. And there are more chances that it is going to work. And even if you fail, those people, that place, that is always there. You can always come back. But at least you got to try. If there is no change in the life, let me tell you again, your life is going to be very bad. Your life is going to stink. It could be that you have a lot of the potential, but you don't have courage to explore yourself. You don't have courage to see the other side of where you're already living. Because you have, surrounded yourself with the certain restrictions and the limitations. And you feel that getting out of those, limitations, crossing that Rubicon is not going to be good for the people that you care about. Or it's not going to be good for, the financial nest that you have built. End of the life. In the end of the life, you're not going to give a damn about how much money you have made. It is about, did you live your life to the full extent? And if you haven't done it, you're not going to like it. You're going to be disappointed with yourself. So you're going to have the courage to move away from the things where you don't belong to.